Well, my stream kicked off, but I was able to pull it back up, and I'll go ahead and finish that there. And we just looked at the triple R, but I wanted to here. Let's do one more of those. Let's take a look at while we maybe get some more people that got kicked off, but then they join again. Let me yeah. So the stream kicked off, but I pulled it back up. Give me one moment while I pull up everything. And there's some streaming services that will continue live streaming and then it'll connect, like if you reconnect. So that's why I'm gonna finish this out. So I apologize for that interruption. Let me pull up that. Let's take another look at another conservation video. Yeah, the conservation district has a whole bunch of, like, even as of 7 days ago. Well, that's their board of trustees meeting. Here's one for just disc golf. Is this the same one? No, it's a different one. I think they're actually walking through all 18 holes, so let's watch this again. I didn't have it on the screen the first time it went through, so let's take a look at the whole golf course here at Triple R. I had no idea this was this extensive of a golf course. I just always had seen like a few holes from walking the trails, but I think I need to get out there and play this one. So the conservation district that fell pro in Triple R and Cary. There's quite a few. I was trying to go through and find all the ones where they did like tours for the conservation district in Cary, and um there's only a few of them
remarkable paper
for Triple R in the hollows, but
the ultimate paper tablet.
Let's take a look at some other videos from the hollows or from the conservation district. Oh, we got some behind the scenes, some BTS here.
Taking care of storm damage. After a storm rolls through, our number one priority is public safety. Number two would be getting all the sites, trails, roadways, parking lots clear and opened up for the public to get in and do what they came to do. So some of the areas that could be impacted by storms that roll through would be obviously trails and roadways, but we also have picnic groves, parking areas, those types of things. We'll have fence damage, bridge damage, you name it. The tree can land on it. It probably will at some point, and we'll be cleaning up after it. This last storm that rolled through, I would say we had close to 20 spread out through our region. Not all of our storm damage actually occurs during the storm. We'll have a lot of damage that you won't be able to necessarily see. Some of it you can. You can see a tree hung up, or it's just a crack in the trunk somewhere, a day or two, strong winds, maybe for no reason, it just comes down. So we have a period, usually a week, when we can be dealing with storm damage. So when we clean up a tree, we have a few different options of what we can do with it. We'll cut it and chip it, or we'll cut it and pile it for burning later in the fall. We also will leave some for habitat. By habitat, I mean animals are going to move in, use it, live in it, whatever would happen in the wild if we weren't here to clean up the tree. We practice safety whenever we cut, 100% of the time. As rangers and assistant rangers, we're annually trained for chainsaw use. We wear an array of PPE. So we have our helmets, hearing protection, eye protection, chainsaw chaps to protect our lower body, Kevlar lined boots. We try to get on storm damage immediately, right away. It will take number one priority over anything we have. We aim to have trails, roadways open for the public. If we can keep from interrupting any activities on a daily basis, we do it. So if you see us out, that's what we're trying to do. Be safe. If you need to get around us, check with us if you can come through if you see us cutting. If you see any storm damage, please call it in.
That's got to be a fun job to just be outside all day and work, working, sweating, and throwing logs around. That's we thank them for keeping our trails and our parks nice and clean to enjoy with our families. So that kind of also dovetails into trees and our tree maintenance. I'm sorry for that glitch. Our stream went down for a second, but it hop back on, and some streaming services will continue the live stream. It'll be blocked in the two, but this will be part two. We were looking. We looked at the Village of Cary is going to be discussing private property tree preservation requirements, and we talked about how that's kind of it's a topic that deserves TLC. And to have that, that's why you want people in there that understand the value and the slippery slope of property rights once they start getting taken away. But then you also want somebody that appreciates nature and understands the value of mature trees and how much that means for the community and like green area. You hear the green area, we got to see them taking care of trees. So what I did while that video was playing, I pulled up the city of Crystal Lake. It's called Unified Development Ordinance Tree Preservation. And let me see if I can I just know how to like physically zoom on the camera. I wanted to see if it had an optical zoom without being distorted. I'll just do that for now. But I thought I'd bring to you the city of Crystal Lake because that's most likely what they're going to be modeling it after. Because it was the same. When I pulled how many pages is the Village of Cary code, it was 800 and some pages, and I went to Crystal Lake and it was also 800 and some pages. I think they're kind of on the same. I think maybe the same service took care of them, and I don't know if it's maintained by the same service. It looked like a different platform. It looked like a different platform, but let's take a look at what the city of Crystal Lake has for their tree preservation. I mean, what else would you rather be doing on a Friday night, right? So the city of Crystal Lake, we're going to take a look at this because the village of Cary is considering adding on to their code a tree preservation, and I thought I'd just read briefly to you what they have in here and kind of give you the feel of what they have here. And it says the purpose of this section is to establish high tree preservation standards for the development and redevelopment within the city, and to preserve trees as an important public resource enhancing the city's natural character and heritage. The article is hereby determined to be significant in the following manner in protecting the public health, welfare, and safety, preserving the essential character of those areas through the community which are wooded and in a more natural state, with an intention of preserving the visual and aesthetic qualities of the city generally, reducing soil erosion, stormwater runoff, protecting the habitat of its existing wildlife and migration corridors, enhancing and preserving the air quality through the filtering effect of trees on air pollutants, creating a sound buffer to noise pollution, providing protection against natural elements such as the sun, wind, rain, protecting and increasing property values. My button stopped working. But what the village is looking at doing is doing a private property tree preservation. And this looks like it's more of the development and redevelopment. It says here the following properties and or entities shall be exempt from the tree preservation requirements of this article. Single-family residentially zoned parcels that are less in area than 3 acres and were created prior to September 3rd, 2002. Parkway trees. And some of the exemptions include property owned by the Cary Crystal Lake Park District, McHenry County College. So they put their exemptions in there. They have a tree removal permit. The removal permits shall be issued for the following reasons. The tree you need to get a permit if your tree is dying to remove it. Oh. The tree is damaged. So I think this is what we're looking at here. So the village wants to do private property tree preservation. When I typed in private property tree preservation into the Crystal Lake zoning, it did not populate anything for private property tree, which was my search query. But this kind of says single-family residentially zoned parcels that are less than 3 acres. So that's your majority of your suburban area. So it looks like they did do some TLC here. So it'll be interesting to see how the village implements this tree order. And it does show good listening to the residents. Not a huge fan of needing a permit if you live on more than 3 acres and your tree was struck by lightning. So you're already having a good day, but then you have to go get a permit. That's not a huge, I'm not a big fan of that. I wonder if they have preferred contractors. What they used to do, which pretty much all municipalities did this back in the day, was that they had a list of preferred contractors that you had to go through. And they don't do that anymore. But that was a conflict. I could see, like, you want it done, you want it being done safe, and you want it being done appropriately. But for them to I would rather them give you the criteria of they must be licensed, bonded, insured, than, hey, you have to, I got a guy. That's pretty much what that is. It's I got a guy. But their tree preservation is 13 pages long. So I guess we'll see how that rolls out in the village. But like I said, if you, I think, like we all want, you don't want a developer coming in just cleaning house with trees, but at the same time, you also don't want your residents being burdened with unnecessary fees, and that's where that disconnect comes in, to where, like, if you look at the revenue and expenditures, like if you look at the money coming in from municipality, it's so minuscule in the grand scheme of things of how much these permits bring in. And what it often does, it just leaves a bad taste in the mouth of the resident. And I'm not saying that you have to clean the board of it, but it deserves like a well thought out reason of why that thing, to explain, like, why is this here? Like, the money here is to sustain this, instead of just your tree was struck by lightning. You own 3.5 acres of land. We need $100. So that's why I enjoy going through. I want to crack open that 800 pages and just go through it, make sure that everything's going right by you, the homeowner, and respectfully and thoughtfully bring out the pruners. So sorry for that interruption in between there. We can do a little bit more browsing since it's a nice Friday night. Kind of coming up on 10 o'clock. We can end with a video. Oh, there's already one playing. Hold on.
Hour and get a pretty good representation of what's in that stream. When we're doing the survey,
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout every week. Done.
Okay, so you got a free ad there. So what's this one? Let's end on a strong conservation video here. Let me go back in the, I like that behind the scenes one. I'm going to hop back in the playlist. And if you think of anything you want to add, or provide some context, you can text and or call. That's still open, and we'll talk about it. Behind the scenes. Let me take a look. Oh, here's a cool one.
Operations. Hello, my name is Ben O'Day. I'm Parks and Fleet Supervisor for the McHenry County Conservation District, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how we tackle winter operations. The winter work for the Conservation District starts well before the actual winter season. The rangers begin in the fall by prepping ski trails, removing leaves, debris, sticks. They're also installing winter signage, plow markers, all in preparation of snow removal activities. In addition to that, the mechanics are prepping the trucks, both with plows and salt spreaders, so that when the snow does fly, we're able to hit the ground running. Once the snow has arrived, staff is busy packing and tracking ski trails, obviously doing snow removal in the sites, plowing, salting, as well as checking our sled hill at Glacial Park. That requires daily inspections just to make sure that that's safe for site users.
Snow removal for us in the winter is a big part of our job. We have a lot of sites that we need to open up for the public to enjoy. A few of the trainings that we'll do every few years are plow safety training, and every year or so we'll do effective salt training with the county just to make sure we're not putting too much salt down, too little. We want to make sure we use best practices for salting our sites. Too much salt can kill off some of our native plantings. Too little salt causes hazardous road conditions. We have about 25 parking lots that need to get plowed after every snowfall, between about 8 people. This takes quite a bit of time, and we ask everybody be patient. Take your time in the parks while driving. If they haven't been plowed, we will get to them as soon as we can.
Okay, McHenry County Conservation District has 40 miles of cross-country ski trails, over 16 of our sites. 2 of them are open till 9 p.m. They're solar-lit trails. We have Hickory Grove Highlands and Pleasant Valley. And we offer 3 candlelight ski events throughout the winter at different sites. They change every year. After a snow event, we'll come through and we will pack our trails with this roller first to set a good base, and we will follow up with the tracking machine, which is 2 tracks where the skis go in. As a courtesy, we please ask that snowshoers or hikers, dog walkers, please stay out of the tracks that we put out and walk off to the side so we can keep a good trail for the skiers. After we're done packing and tracking the trails, we'll update the website with the trail conditions.
Our sled hill here at Glacial Park is one of only a handful in the area, and the only one that provides such a beautiful view that only Glacial Park can deliver. Our sled hill slope is not too extreme, yet still provides a fun, exhilarating ride for children and families of all ages. We do recommend hard plastic sleds. We do not recommend any inflatables due to the occasional puncture that can happen. For preparation for our sled hill in this fall, we do a very fine, low cut to remove any debris. In the winter, we do daily checks of our sled hill and check for any debris that has been left over, any moguls or jumps, and if possible, we try to remove them with any hand tools so that the sled hill can remain open. We also check for sled conditions, so if the snow is a little bit too fast or too slow, we will unfortunately have to close it. Our sled hill is open when we have approximately 4 inches of snow on the ground or when conditions allow.
The truck preparation starts well before the snow falls. Early November, we get the plows on, the salt spreaders on, just to make sure everything's working well before we actually need it. In order to be fiscally responsible, we have to stay on top of the maintenance on these vehicles in order to keep them as long as possible. In addition to these salt trucks that the district has, we also maintain the Polaris Rangers that groom trails for cross-country skiing. We also do fabrication here in the shop. We have made the snow grooming, the roller packers here as well. So it's important for the mechanics to keep the vehicles maintained and ready to go for the Rangers in order to keep all the sites open for all the site users out there.
The district also offers snowmobile trails. We have over 17 miles of trails in Glacial Park, the Prairie Trail North, and the Hebron Trail, along with numerous connections throughout the county. We work in cooperation with the McHenry County Snowmobiles Association, the Huntley Penguins, and the Marengo Snowgoers. The district also facilitates a grant through the IDNR on behalf of the McHenry County Snowmobile Association. This goes towards helping cover costs for trail maintenance. The work district staff performs on snowmobile trails largely happens before the season starts. Staff completes a lot of bridge repairs, some trail rerouting over wet areas, as well as installing culverts and mowing in preparation for the season. McHenry County snowmobile trails are open from December 10th to March 10th. In order for these trails to be open, several conditions need to be met. We need to have 4 inches of snow on top of frozen ground, or 6 inches of snow on top of unfrozen ground. A few things to keep in mind while snowmobiling on district property. We want to make sure everybody stays on marked trails, number one, and be sensitive to the environment you're in. Also, please make sure you have your registration sticker displayed on your snowmobile and follow all state laws. Our staff's goal in the winter months outside, enjoy the winter activities, and do it in a safe environment.
Well, I learned something. I had no idea that they did the cross-country skiing trails like that. I didn't. I thought it was just made from like the prior person skiing, but they actually pack it and then make the ski trail. So that's cool. And we also thank the Conservation District and our Cary Park District for taking care of everything throughout the winter, especially as it comes to a close and, you know, as things start to turn green, and get all the kids start getting excited for be able to go outside and not freeze their fingers off. We thank all of them for taking care of it. And this Friday show was fun. We got to take a little tour of the conservation area in our town and look at some of the board meeting minutes, as well as some tree regulations that might be coming down the pike. So we'll take a look at that. That board meeting is on March 4th. So we will bring that to you live. We'll do a live watch party of that. And I thoroughly enjoy being here, taking care of, you know, bringing stuff together to bring to you, no matter where you may be. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's a Friday night, and I completely thank you for the support that you show me on social media, and I can't do it alone. So if you share the feed or share, no matter on what platform you are on, if anything resonated with you in any of the other videos, share that. And then also just talk with your neighbor, even if it's not about Voices Cary or anything like that. Just talk about something that pertains to the community, and start going to your village board meetings, and get involved with this place where we call home. Thank you for joining me today on Voices Cary Live, and I will see you on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend.
You're confirmed at T-minus 10 seconds. And counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
Reach for the sky.
Huh?
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
What?
Somebody's poisoned the water hole.
It's busted.
Who you calling busted, Buster? That's right. I'm talking to you, Sid Phillips. We don't like being blown up, Sid. Or smashed, or ripped apart.
We?
That's right. Your toys.
play nice.